welcome to About Last Night, the Sun's home for all things I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. I'm Felicity Cross, Deputy TV Editor, coming to you from Australia's Gold Coast, and after last night's throuple revelations on the show, I feel like maybe I'm in a throuple with you guys. So let's dig into all the juicy action. So first of all, I think we need to discuss this Scarina trial. They've obviously put loads of effort into this, loads of budget, and it's really nice to see them doing something on this big scale. It's really creative, it's extended to the camps as well as just the trials, lots of fun with the way that the teams were chosen, and then obviously it led up to that really big moment of when the latecomers were announced, Tony and Frankie. And I thought it was fantastic. The Locker Shocker trial genuinely was quite tense. That last moment when it was Marvin versus, was it Danielle? And it was down to the wire. Marvin versus Fred. And my heart was in my mouth. So I can't imagine what it must have been like for them. I've already seen so many funny memes and funny comments online about them all covered in feathers. So fantastic, just the sort of thing that I'm a Celebrity does so well. My favourite part of it though was Grace, who just did not give a did she? She was just there poking around with her foot in the fish guts, trying to find her missing keys. And I love that energy. When she's next to Sam Thompson, he's like, I've got the key! I've done it, baby! And she's just... I love that. Be more Grace. So it's obviously not surprising for us to see later in the show that she is up for the next viewer-voted trial, which is the Touchdown of Terror. So as we know, the public always likes to punish people who choose to check out the game, and it felt a little bit like she had. So we'll see how that goes when she appears on that trial up against Nella, Sam, and then one more celebrity who will be chosen later on. I think it's going to be really important for Grace actually, because right now Grace is fading into the background, and what Grace needs to remember is I'm a Celebrity is vote to save, and right now she doesn't have the kind of fan base that is going to be feeling that compelled to vote for her. You know, I just can't see people that read restaurant reviews going, oh, she wrote a lovely review of the Fox and Hounds, must vote for her. Whereas people like Nella Rose, the more divisive people, Nigel Farage, they have people who are going to be bothered to pick up the phone. So Grace needs to get with it. She needs to give us some sass. I think we all thought she was going to go in there as sort of an articulate, sort of mature woman with opinions. And we're getting some one-liners in the Bush Telegraph, but that's kind of it right now. So she should jump on this trial and really give it all the rice and beans that she has. I have two more favourite parts of the episode. The first. So Sam Thompson has this kind of, feels like a showmance bromance, but they clearly like each other with Pete Wicks from Towie. They have their podcast together, they do a lot of their online content together. And Sam, in potentially the most contrived moment yet, when he was in the Locker Shocker, said, do it for Ant, do it for Dec, do it for Pete, do it for Ant, do it for Dec, do it for Pete. What about your beautiful girlfriend, Zara McDermott? What about your lovely family? We'll see what they've got to say about that. And then, secondly, that throuple which I mentioned. So I think that came up because Nigel Farage, of all people, asked Tony about David Hay, who obviously famously was in a throuple with Una from the Saturdays and another lovely lady. And anyway, it was an absolute gold minefield for Ant and Dec. All of the throuple jokes, they are obviously been in a longer relationship than most of us will ever manage, Ant and Dec. So lots of fun jokes about that. I think this was our first day as well without a GB News break. So I don't know what the channel's going to be thinking about that, losing all their free advertising. So lots more coming up from the Scarina trial for us to look forward to. It's going to be more physical challenges. more thrills and spills. I think it will be delivering on that front at least. What we do sometimes tend to see when there's lots of trials going on I'm a Celebrity is it does mean that there's less of what they call reality of camp. So, you know, they're not sitting around having the conversations, they're not arguing. So we potentially get less of that human element and more of the challenges. But hey, when they're as fun and look as good as they did last night, then I'm happy with that. So keep joining me this week for all the news and gossip for I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. This has been About Last Night, and I am Felicity Cross, and I will see you tomorrow.